So for today's adventure, we're planning to summit McNeil Peak. The hike should be a little under 9 miles round trip. We started at the Andy Creek Trailhead, east of White Pass off Highway 12 near Rimrock Lake. The hike out of Andy Creek Trailhead starts off on Trail 1111 or Russell Ridge Trail. And you hike Russell Ridge Trail in about 1.5 miles until you get to a major trail junction where you take a left or head west on the Ironstone Mountain Trail. From there, it should be a straight shot on the Ironstone Mountain Trail over to the base of McNeil Peak, and then we'll have to take a boot path to get to the summit of McNeil Peak. Anyways, today's adventure is McNeil Peak via the Andy Creek Trailhead. So we're almost 1.1 miles in at this point, about 730 feet of elevation gain. So just a steady uphill grind in the hot sun. We're in the low 80s right now, I think. So the sort of temperatures that make you wish for October hiking. So about 1.6 miles and a little over 1,100 feet of elevation gain. We just hit the major trail junction. We've headed left off of the Russell Ridge Trail and are headed out now towards the Ironstone Mountain Trail, which will take over to the base of McNeil Peak. We should be passing 100 or 200 feet the sign for the William O. Douglas Wilderness, which will transition into here in just a moment. It's about 2.9 miles, 1,600 feet of elevation gain roughly. I stepped off trail out to a viewpoint for just a moment. That's looking down towards Rimrock Lake, and then Clear Lake is right out over there. And then of course Mount Adams and the Goat Rocks. So beautiful little vista. Again, we're about almost 2.9 miles in right here. So a hair over 3 miles right now, and just under 1,700 feet of elevation gain. We probably have about another mile to go to get to the base of the peak. And 3.3 miles, we're getting our first glimpse of McNeil Peak through the trees. It won't show up on the camera, but the first glimpse of the peak is here. So 4.65 miles and 2,150 feet elevation gain. We're just below McNeil Peak. And so far the trail's been easy to follow. It looks like it's gonna be one of those ones where it's just gonna depend on what the boot trail is right at the end. So we're just beneath the summit of McNeil Peak. We're at 4.75 miles with 2,254 feet of elevation gain. McNeil Peak is just right up through there. There you can see it. So from here, it's just going to be a matter of finding the best boot trail route. You're gonna have to step carefully on the way down, especially with those stobs from the dead trees. Looks like up should be fine though. So we're almost to the peak right here. So it's just gonna be a matter of being super careful with your steps on the way down. Hoping the dog doesn't bowl you over, exactly. All right, I'm gonna turn the camera off so I can pick my way to the tip top. All right, so we're at the top of McNeil Peak looking out towards Mount Rainier. Beck has the sign-in tube. So McNeil is?
In the bag.
It's in the bag, and Rebecca really wants to walk down the mountain?
No. Well, we gotta stay in the bag again.
So Mount Rainier, there's Tumac Peak right in front of it. The dog is bagged. The stray dog has bagged McNeil Peak. We're hoping she doesn't do anything crazy like sprint after a squirrel. Goat Rocks and Mount Adams off in that direction. And so if I spin around here, I'm going to be looking at Ironstone here in a moment. There's Ironstone Mountain from a few weeks ago. And there's Shell Rock Peak showing up now. And there's the Rattlesnake Peak showing up. And we're almost back around to Rainier. So McNeil Peak is...
You already said that.
You gotta say it again.
In the bag.
It's in the bag. And I'm gonna make you say it again at the parking lot.
Yeah. You know, sometimes I wonder why.
Why we do this?
And then I'm like, you're my father.
Otherwise we wouldn't do it. I've been dragging you out into dangerous places your whole life.
I would not face it like that if someone asked you. My hands might just be a little bit bloody after this, old man.
My hand's already bloody. I could have gone with a thin, lightweight pair of gloves coming down this.
Yeah. I was stepping and the top of a rock just came off. I'm glad I tested it first. Like that. Because why? I don't know. Erosion. I told you she'd balance.
All right, so 5.34 miles, 2,499 feet of elevation gain. And we are just off the boot trail to the top of McNeil Peak and getting ready to start our descent to the trailhead. Whoa. We're going to be doing a lot of that slipping on the way down, aren't we? Nugget's got four-wheel drive, though, so she's going to be fine.
Here's her tail off. Do the crab walk.
Yeah, we might be breaking out a lot of Band-Aids on this trail.
A lot of the three we have.
I have quite a few with me. I have a normal first aid kit with me today.
He doesn't even know how long it took to do the mile. That's crazy.
This is gonna be slow, isn't it? Oh well, it's not that big a stretch though. What is it? Maybe a quarter mile on this? And Nugget's sitting back in the shade. She's like, you guys are so slow. I'm just gonna wait till you go 5 minutes and then I'm gonna catch up real quickly. With her four-wheel drive, her four-leg drive. So we're arriving back at the Andy Creek Trailhead. We've clocked it at about 9.5 miles and a little over 2,700 feet of elevation gain today. So I think the combination of mileage, elevation gain, and heat made this one a challenge. But regardless, we're arriving back at the parking lot. So McNeil Peak is
In the bag!
It's in the bag. And what does Savannah say?